Glamorgan battled hard to draw their LV County Championship match at Grace Road against Leicestershire on what was an exciting last day on which both sides at one point had a chance of winning. Bad light on the previous evening had set the home side back a bit, but they still entered the last day on 77 for 1 in their second innings for a lead of 218. The question for them was when to declare. Ned Eckersley showed their intent by striking an early 6 and a 4 as 18 runs were hit off the opening couple of overs. Rightly, Eckersley was trying to hit everything, and in doing that he dragged his back foot out of his crease and was well stumped by Mark Wallace for 22 at 95 for 2. Eckersley's overnight partner was Greg Smith, who resumed his innings on 45 and now moved to his half-century straight after Eckersley's dismissal. The opener has made a good start to this season and had needed 69 deliveries to make it to his half-century, from which he'd found the boundary on 9 occasions. He hit the next 2 balls for 4 too. After his brilliant first innings 100, Niall O'Brien was brought up the order to have a thrash, but he got an inside edge onto his pad to be caught by Wallace off the bowling of Graham Wagg, with just 1 run to his name this time. Next to have a go was Rob Taylor. He pulled Wagg for a mammoth 6. Before he was bowled by the same bowler for 15 with a score on 132 for 4, and the lead now standing at 273. It wasn't enough for Josh Cobb yet, and so he joined in the 6-hitting fun to add a further 19 runs with Smith. A club to long on saw the back of the Leicestershire skipper, Jacques Rudolph, taking the catch in the deep as Cobb departed for 13. Poor Angus Robson was on a pair, one he completed in the next over when he walked into a drive shot to offer Dean Koska an easy catch in the covers. Wagg was having fun and picking up some cheap wickets. The next to gift him one was Ben Rain, who drove to Stuart Walters after making just a single off 13 balls. Smith had watched all this happen from the non-striker's end as he moved through the numbers again, nearing his second Championship 100 in 2 games this term. Of course, he still had to get on with it, so Cobb could call them in. He hammered cut shots to the fence off Wagg as he came to within 1 more boundary of another 3-figure score. He was denied his 100 in the unluckiest of ways as Will Owen got a fingertip on Jigger Nake's drive to run out Smith on 97. The declaration came immediately, with Leicestershire on 179 for 8. That gave Glamorgan a target of 321 in 71 overs, a fair one on a pitch where there have been a lot of runs. Rudolph and his opening partner Gareth Rees both made 50s in the first innings, and they made a bright start again. They survived a short time before lunch and then set about their target with gusto as they took 49 runs off the first 11 overs to give their side something of a chance. That 11th over ended with a wicket of Rees, who nicked Charlie Shrek behind after making 25. It was a decent enough start for the visitors though, in spite of that loss. The things then did slow down before Will Bragg decided to remove his bat too late and played on to Taylor. It was an almost identical dismissal for Bragg from the first innings. He left for 7 with a total on 68 for 2, but Glamorgan just about kept themselves in with a shout as Rudolph played smartly. He is a wonderful addition to the Glamorgan side and will, I'm sure, score a host of runs for them this summer. He worked the ball around the park, finding the boundary just often enough to make Leicestershire a little concerned. Glamorgan set off in their chase, needing to score at around 4.5 runs per over, and they weren't far behind that at this stage. The South African completed his second 50 of the match, this one made off 68 balls with 9 fours. As long as he stayed in, then his side would have fancied their chances. It was simply a matter of how long he could keep going for. Leicestershire should have removed his new partner, Murray Goodwin, before he'd got going. This was a big moment as O'Brien missed a regulation stumping chance off the bowling of Nake. To be fair to the keeper, the ball turned late while this one held up, and that saw Rudolph strike Nake in the air to rain to depart for 63 with a total on 128 for 3 in the 31st over. It was the moment Leicestershire had probably been waiting for, although that wicket didn't immediately lead to another. As we moved into the last session, both sides still had chances, and Goodwin was now in and looking good with shots such as these. Walters got his innings moving by stroking Nake for a 6, as this pair carried the total to 182 in the 46th over, Goodwin passing a 50 off 76 deliveries. But to his very next ball, he mistimed a drive off Anthony Ireland, sending the ball into the hands of Eckersley in the covers. It was the moment where the game started to move away from the visitors. 4 balls later, Nate got one through a little bit quicker to trap Jim Allenby in front for a duck. Now there appeared to be only one possible winner. Mark Wallace should have gone in the same over as Cobb dropped a sharp chance close in. But Nake soon got his man as Wallace went on the sweep but missed the ball to go LBW for 7 at 191 for 6. Nake was now causing serious problems for the batsman. Wagg decided that attack was the best form of defence, and he was lucky that this skied shot was not held by a running Eckersley. A stunning catch out of the picture by Matt Boyce, you can tell that from the player's reaction, did see the end of Wagg for 9. Ireland with the wicket, which now reduced Glamorgan to 204 for 7 with 17.5 overs remaining. So Leicestershire now had a real chance, and had this throw hit the stumps to run out John Glover, then perhaps they would have finally collected the win they'd been waiting so long for. As it was, Nake and co couldn't get the wickets they required as Walters held firm in company with Glover. The former Surrey man managed to complete a 98-ball 50 before the close. Leicestershire just couldn't push on for the win their play throughout probably deserved. Walters ended on 57 after 2.5 hours of crease occupation, while Glover should also be congratulated for seeing out 49 balls in his hour-long innings. Glamorgan finished on 250 for 7 as the game was drawn. They took 11 points to Leicestershire's 13. Glamorgan now head home to take on the new second division leaders Worcestershire, while Leicestershire face a tough task against an in-form Essex side in Chelmsford.